Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive. Today, we're all about cybersecurity, but more specifically, how to protect ourselves, from those nasty email threats.
Yeah, I was just reading about that ransomware attack, the one on that U.S. gas distributor.
Oh, right.
Crazy, right? Really makes you think.
Absolutely. That's a big one.
It shows just how vulnerable we are, you and me both. And that's where secure email gateways come in, or what cybersecurity folks call EGs.
Yeah.
Think of it like a super smart bouncer for your inbox,
Yeah,
Keeps all the bad guys out before they can even cause any trouble.
definitely.
So we dug into some research, and it's clear email is like the main target for these cyber criminals. Why is that? Why email? What do you think?
Well, email security often comes down to human behavior.
Oh, interesting.
It's true, like with phishing, for example.
Yeah.
Phishing attacks prey on our trust,
Makes sense.
Our tendency to click first and think later. It's just human nature.
Yeah. And even with all the training in the world, some of these phishing attacks, especially the sophisticated ones using AI, they're getting so good at mimicking real emails.
Really?
It's becoming harder and harder to spot the fakes.
Wow. So our sources go into some of the features of SEGs, the things that make them tick. Let's start with the classic one virus and malware blocking. Seems pretty simple, right? Like, it just blocks viruses.
Yeah, on the surface, it sounds simple enough. Every email that comes in, it gets scanned for any known threats.
Right.
But the real challenge, and this is where it gets interesting, the real challenge for these SEG providers is keeping their defenses up to date.
Oh, I see.
We're seeing new malware, new variants popping up all the time.
Oh, wow.
And some of these even use machine learning, can you believe that? They actually adapt and learn to avoid detection.
That's wild.
It's crazy. So eggs have to be just as agile to keep up.
They have to be one step ahead, always.
Exactly. It's a constant arms race.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, our sources also talk about spam filtering.
Okay.
I mean, who likes a cluttered inbox? I know I don't. How do SEGs deal with all that junk?
Well, they use a whole bunch of different tactics, kind of a multi-pronged approach.
Okay.
First, they look at the sender's reputation, check it against these known blacklists. They also look for any suspicious patterns in the content, like too many capital letters or misspellings, that kind of thing.
That's smart.
Often a sign of spam.
Yeah.
And get this, some SEGs even use something called Bayesian filtering.
What's that?
It's pretty cool, actually. It learns from past spam messages to identify new ones.
So it's like an AI learning as it goes.
Exactly. Imagine an AI-powered assistant constantly cleaning up your inbox. Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh, it would. I need one of those. Okay, moving on. Content filtering. Our sources really highlighted this one as crucial for businesses, and it makes sense. Think about it. What if a confidential document ends up in the wrong hands? That could be disastrous.
Exactly. And it's not just about, those accidental leaks.
Right.
SEs can actually enforce data loss prevention policies,
Okay.
like blocking certain keywords, certain attachments.
Right.
They can restrict people from sharing files externally, and they can even scan outgoing emails to see if there's any sensitive information in there.
That's amazing. So it's like a safety net for those human errors.
Yeah.
Right? Or even, intentional stuff.
Exactly. Like, we saw this case recently where an employee, they were disgruntled and they tried to leak a bunch of customer data.
Oh, no.
But it flagged the attempt right away because of the email's content and the files that were attached.
Wow.
They prevented a huge data breach. It could have been disastrous.
That's incredible. Okay, there's one feature that I found really interesting. It's called email archiving. Sounds kind of boring, I know, but our sources really emphasized how important it is. What do you think?
Well, it's all about having a secure record of all your emails, right? But the key is that it's searchable. This can be a lifesaver for legal stuff or compliance reasons. Imagine you're in a lawsuit and you need to dig up an email from, 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And SEG, that has a good archiving system, can make that process so much easier and way less expensive, too.
That's so true.
It's like having a digital time capsule for all your communications,
Yeah.
Never know when you might need it.
You never know. One of our sources had this quote that really stuck with me. They said, at their very core, secure email gateways offer protection against malicious messages and attachments.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's not just about convenience,
Yeah.
It's about having that basic layer of security, that foundation.
Absolutely. I mean, even if everyone had perfect security awareness training, and we know that's not going to happen.
Never gonna happen.
Some of these phishing attempts are going to get through. It's inevitable.
Right.
But in SEG, it gives you that extra layer of defense, that safety net. It catches the threats that we humans might miss.
It's like having a backup.
Exactly. It's about building a whole security system where technology and human awareness work together. That's how you stay safe.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Our sources also mention that SIGs can really cut down on the number of successful attacks.
It's true.
That's got to be a relief, right? Not just for organizations, but for regular folks, too.
Absolutely. It's peace of mind.
Okay, so let's do a quick recap. Secure email gateways offer a whole bunch of ways to keep our inboxes safe. They block malware, filter out spam, stop data leaks, and even keep a record of everything. In a world where these cyber threats are getting more and more sophisticated, SIGs are becoming essential, wouldn't you say?
Definitely. They're not just a nice to have anymore. It's really a must have.
Okay, well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into secure email gateways. But before we go, I have a question for you all to think about. Knowing what you know now about SEGs, what steps are you going to take to make sure your email is secure, both personally and, at work if you're in an organization? It's something to consider. That's all the time we have for today. Join us next time for another insightful exploration. See you then.